ladies. This is Toy with Love Between Two Women. And I had been pondering over a particular subject or some content that I want to cover, and I've decided that I'm going to cover it in a series because I know that many of us need it, including myself. I wish I had access to the content that I'm going to be sharing with you guys when I was going through my hard time of dealing with coming back into singleness, the breakup portion, the mourning and healing and forgiveness, in preparation to go back into dating possibly, which I'm still working through that part. Not sure whether I'm going to even do it, but I am preparing myself in different ways with different tools to be able to be successful, or at least know exactly what I want. So over the coming weeks, I'm going to do a series of from single to mingling, and then from mingling to dating. I feel like it would be best done in a series, so that way we can go step by step with each other and go through this process together and, see more success than we've possibly seen in the past. So, our first subject, our first topic, I'm going to go ahead and start discussing it now, and that is getting yourself clear of the past. And how are you going to accomplish getting yourself clear of your past? One thing you definitely have to do is mourn. You have to mourn just as if you had lost someone. You had lost a dear friend or a loved one or someone, because you have lost someone. Someone has left out of your life. So you have to go through that process of allowing yourself that hurt space. But you want to close that gap. You don't want that gap to stay open too long. You don't want that wound to stay open too long. You want to close it. And I'm going to help you or give you some information to work with, some tools to work with in order to be able to close your wound and hopefully close it for good. So that's the first thing. Getting yourself past the hurt stage. Beginning the mourning process. So now how do you begin the mourning process? I'm sure you're asking that question. First, allowing yourself to process the information. Allowing yourself just maybe for a week to process the ending of the relationship. But whatever you do, don't place blame. Don't place blame on yourself. Don't place blame on her. Even if it was, let's say, a physically abusive relationship that you were in, and let's say she was the abuser. Don't let blame and anger consume you, okay? Because you know that happened. You know that you were the victim of abuse. What you can do instead of blaming her is find you someone to talk to. Going to possibly some domestic violence group meetings or counseling, something to begin to help you to heal from that part. I'm not saying to totally negate that it even happened, not at all. Don't do that, because you'll wind up suppressing it, and suppression is not good for the mind, body, or soul. So definitely go and get you somebody to talk to, or become a member of a group, of a domestic violence group, preferably a lesbian group. If you can find one, I would suggest that you just Google domestic violence amongst lesbians, Something may pop up in your area. If it does not pop up in your area, who knows? You know, there may be somebody, some counselor that does webinars, you know, because I mean, the world is closing in, you know, through internet and stuff like that. So where there's a will, there's a way. Another way to begin to clear yourself and clear your space of this is accepting that you're going to be okay. It's going to take some time. It's going to hurt for a little while. But you have control over how long it hurts. How long you allow this past relationship to consume you. And the way that you control that, again, is by just not even, you know, constantly rehashing what happened, why it happened, you know, how did it get to this point? You know, why are we not together anymore? Why? Sure, we all want closure. And possibly you could get it from her, or she can get it from you in due time. But in the meanwhile, while you were going through releasing yourself from that relationship, if you can't get the closure that you feel you need and you deserve, you're just going to have to go to the place within yourself that says, you know what, I accept that this relationship has closed without my unanswered questions. And I accept that there may not be closure verbally from my ex-partner. However, I forgive myself. I forgive her. I forgive the situation. Whatever you do during this time, during this process, don't remain bitter. Don't remain angry. Because when you do that, it's not good for your health. It's not good for your mental state of being. It's not good for your emotional state of being either. In fact, it's bad for you all the way around, because depression can really take you in a place that sometimes we find difficulty to come out of, to get back from. So you want to be able to start your forgiveness process after your mourning process, after you're asking your questions, possibly getting closure. But if you're not able to get that closure, being able to accept that you cannot get it, and begin to forgive. Begin to forgive yourself. Begin to forgive her. That forgiveness process is going to take a little bit of time. It's not going to instantaneously happen. In fact, none of this is going to instantaneously happen overnight, or in a couple of days, or in a couple of weeks, sometimes not in a couple of months. But you will notice as one day moves from the next to the next to the next, you will begin to feel a little bit better. If you are a person that's very emotional, you will find that you're not as upset as frequently, and then after a while you won't be upset or crying or anything at all after a while. The other thing is that for me personally, and this is not for everybody, but for me, friendship right away with that person is not the best thing for me. I have to shut down my emotions. I have to clear myself, clear my space, clear my emotions, make sure that I get all the residue out. Make sure that I empty all the baggage. That doesn't mean I block them, you know. I'm not that type of person. I don't block people from like calling me or texting me or anything like that unless it's a detrimental situation, unless it's harmful, then I will. But if they're harmless, I'm not going to block them. But at the same time, I'm not going to call them, and I'm going to limit their calls to me, because that does not allow me to heal, and maybe it doesn't allow you to heal either. You know, when you're constantly in contact with that person, because you stay in that state of reminiscing, you know, maybe we can make this work, you know, maybe we can fix things, maybe, you know, maybe we can, you know, do something. And sometimes you can. Sometimes there are relationships that, you know, you can find a healing place for the relationship, and you can continue on with that person. But sometimes that's just not the case, and you have to begin to prepare yourself to move forward. So, in getting yourself clear of your past, those are some places you need to begin first. Go ahead and mourn, cry, do what you gotta do. Scream, yell, get your pillow, punch it. Do what you gotta do. Secondly, closure. If you can get closure from her, great. If you can, you know, and we're going to talk about closure and the pertinent questions that you probably should ask or discuss, and be willing to hear and accept the answer. We're going to then there is the letting go, you know, to say, okay, we done this, we had great times, we had not so great times, and it's over, and it's time for me to walk my path, and for her to walk her path. And you got to be okay with going in your different directions. That don't mean, again, you have to harvest anguish, hurt, and pain towards her. You know, maybe sometime later on in life, you all can be cordial with each other. But for right now, you know, you're in a place where you just really don't need that person in your space, because you need to heal. You need to clear yourself of them. And then the last part, for right now, you need to begin to forgive yourself and forgive her. Of course, if there's other elements in there, such as any type of abuse, whether it's verbal, physical, or mental, then you need to take another step, which is to seek out counseling, or group counseling, or a group that you can go and share and talk this thing out and purge it out of you, so that your wound can heal. Because no wound can heal that is infested with infection. And that's the same thing with, you know, relationships that is just going so badly. If you don't clean it out, clear out that space of it, then it's just gonna keep festering infection in your life, and it's not going to heal or close. So do what you need to do in order to get the place, the healing that you need, and the closure that you need, and to close your wound, and to get rid of the negative baggage, the negative energy, the negative feelings, so that you can begin to work towards a happy place. Another thing that element that I want to put in there is sometimes you need to speak with someone other than people that are closest to you, because they're going to be biased, right? They're not going to be objective in your situation. They're going to be biased, and sometimes, you know, as much as people love and care about us, they're not the best people to talk to when you're going through a breakup, because they're going to side with you. You know, whether you was right, wrong, or indifferent, they're going to take your side, and you need to grow. So it might be best that you speak with someone that's unfamiliar with the situation, unfamiliar with the two of you. But even with that, don't wear anybody out with your story. You know, don't constantly be rehashing it, because again, when you're talking about it, you're not allowing closure. You're not allowing it to close and to be a part of your past. You're keeping it right in your present. So that's all I have for now, ladies. As always, I thank you so much for taking out your time to listen to what I had to say. Now, if this first part of this series has helped you in any way, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. Okay? If it hasn't helped you, it's not for you right now, just bypass it. Don't give it a thumbs down. Okay? The other thing is, there is someone in your social media groups, there's someone possibly in your family or your friends, or even at your job, whatever, that you may know about that's going through some things. You may not be personally going through this, but you're educating yourself, and you're saying, hey, you know, this such and such a friend can use this information. Please click the share button. It doesn't cost you anything. So click the share button and share it amongst your social media community, as well as, you know, family and friends. And the last thing, if you are new to my channel and this is the first video that you are watching, please subscribe. And when you subscribe, what that's going to do is every time that I release a video, it's going to go to your inbox, you know, to your personal email inbox, to show you that I put out a new video. And with this being a series, you'll see what part of the series I'm in, or you can keep up, you know, if you're going through something right now. Lastly, you can always email me if you have a question during this series, or a concern, or, you know, if something is affecting you and you want me to go into more detail. Of course, everything that I speak about is my own personal experience and opinions, and maybe research that I've done independently that I'm bringing to you guys to help you. Okay? So, that's all I have. Again, ladies, thanks so much for watching. And to my new subscribers, I really greatly appreciate the fact that you have decided to join my channel. For you subscribers that's been with me for a while, thank you for your persistence and your belief system in me enough to stay with me and to come back and visit my channel and, you know, revisit some of the old videos that I previously made in the past. So thank you so much for watching, ladies. This is Toy with Love Between Two Women.